Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And my right glasses lens got junked up somehow, and I'm very annoyed because I tried wiping it and it didn't work. And this wool now, trying to wipe it with the wool, it's not working either, so I'm just going to have to drive with it like that. It's not anything crazy. I can see completely fine. It's just relatively minor, but I'm not a fan. I can't say that I'm a fan, so dealing with that this episode. I think I had stuff to talk about, but I definitely forgot at this point, and that could have been to do with my upsetness at the glasses, which I'm realizing now I didn't react properly for my experiment because I did get annoyed and I didn't need to. I could have just been fine with it, but it is what it is. Today's Friday, and I think the week, actually, I don't know, it felt like it was dragging in the beginning of the week, but I think at this point it felt like it went by pretty fast. I don't really know how that works, because if you would have asked me on Tuesday, I would have said, this is a week that's taken the longest at any that I can remember. That's what I would have said then. So I don't know, I think that's interesting because I went from thinking it was so long and now Friday's here and I'm like, oh, like that was quick. I'm wondering what I was thinking of talking about, and I'm pretty annoyed that I forget because I definitely was just thinking of something pretty good. I know in some ways the other issue is there's a type of content that an angrier, grumpier, or normal human can create that may have more of an interest than the more universally positive content that would manifest out of me being more of a normal person, if you will. I mean, things could get pretty boring if I make it so that everything just rolls off. Things could get pretty boring. And I wonder about that. Like, I don't know if this path I'm on, it may not generate the most stimulating or entertaining content. It might not, because drama and negativity are energies that people love. Now I'm trying to think, is that something I shouldn't be projecting out there? But it's so abundantly true and clear. I don't know. But no, I should probably say people love peace. Because I kind of get this idea that each of us kind of influence the world, and a lot of it is our projections. Because I don't know. Like, at first it sounds crazy, and I think I broke it down. I actually don't know if I went into it specifically on here, but to kind of elaborate on previous things I've already talked about, I think that's kind of the issue with the law of attraction, is it's very elitist and it doesn't really explain a lot of things. Like, I don't really think that it's possible for everybody to follow the law of attraction, And there's two factors for that. There's a person's consciousness primarily, right? So some people are more thoughtful. Like, I always basically have a running dialogue. So when I react negatively to something, it's fairly easy for me to say, oh, wait, no, like, I'm actually going to react positively to that. But for a lot of people, I don't think they even get that far. I know I'm projecting negativity, but just hear me out. I don't think a lot of people get that far. Like, I think most people, they wouldn't have the patience at all to even do the experiment that I'm doing. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, they'd be so baffled, so confused, they wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Reacting positively to bad things. You know, like, that's kind of what I think the answer would be. And I don't know. I mean, what is that show? It shows that there's likely only a small percentage of people who even have the emotional bandwidth to tolerate a mental exercise such as the law of it. Like, it's not most people, because it's not even easy for me, and so I can't imagine where other people are at with that stuff. So I don't know. And you know, for all the complaining that you guys know I do, because I've done it on this show before, for all that complaining, at the end of the day, I actually do think I'm probably more of a positive person than a lot of people. It's difficult to say, but just based on my interactions with others, I kind of think I'm consistently just more positive, just more. I mean, the things that get me is my worry about things. I worry about more than other people, but it's a little bit different because other people's lack of worry is from a place of shallowness, whereas I think if they had my mind and awareness, they would also be equally, if not more worried and stressed out, if that makes any sense. Like, I think the fact that people aren't as worried as me about things, it says more about a lack of awareness or an ignorance than it does that I'm an anxious person. And I could be wrong about that assertion. Like, it could be true that I'm just a worrier, but I actually think that makes a lot of sense, because a lot of people just do stuff, and they do stuff incorrectly. They have terrible diets, terrible sleep schedules, and they don't care. And I've mentioned it to so many people, and not a single person cares or changes any of that. So sure, you know, you may not be putting a crumb of effort into doing these things or caring about these things, but then, yeah, you're probably not going to be anxious if you think it's even remotely okay for you to sleep in or go to bed early. These behaviors that I've seen almost everybody I know just chronically engage in. Oh, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed early. Oh, I'm going to stay up late. I'm feeling good, I'm going to stay up late. You know, it's such childish behavior, but it's normalized because of where we're at in society. So that's kind of the thing with the law of attraction that I think, I guess I don't believe. Like, no, I don't think we should just project positivity onto everything and start saying, like, oh, well, I'm just going to sleep whenever I want because, you know, it's like, no. There's certain things that you if you have your body and you're trying to be in a high vibe, state, you're going to have to take care of it. Like I don't know if that makes any sense to me or not, but I guess some proponents of it would say that, like, even with horrible sleep, you would still just somehow pull through. But I guess I'm a little bit too scientific for that, because I just don't know that I believe that discourse, and I don't know how good it is when it starts to make it where you can just be like, oh, I'm not going to care for myself, and I'm going to justify a bunch of bad behaviors. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where I think a line should be drawn. That makes any sense? But I don't know. I mean, maybe, no, I don't know, man. With how, I guess you could make the argument, though, people are unhealthy because they are mentally unhealthy. You know, and the food is there, but, like, what if the food isn't really the problem? I guess that's a good point, because, I mean, you could assume someone on the law of attraction, maybe they wouldn't go to McDonald's. You know, maybe they just wouldn't end up there, but then they could, and then you get into that thing where you react positively to everything. If somebody's overweight and they have a food addiction, and then they're like, oh, I'm not going to feel guilty about it. You see what I mean? It's a little bit tricky. And again, I don't know. I'm not sure what the intention is, because what I'm saying could be go against what true believers of the law True believers of the law think. You know, it's not. I'm just rolling through words and thoughts right now, just stuff that I've considered. You know, that's what I'm doing right now. And yeah, I mean, I think there's certain things where self-care is self-care, and doesn't there have to be an objectivity to that? I don't know. Because then, yeah, what if you're like getting sick and you're just saying, oh no, I feel great. Oh, I feel great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it does work for a lot of, because, but then, you know, people would say science and genetics are much clearer and provable arguments to this kind of stuff. It's probably not a person's mindset, even though that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, it could be a person's mindset, because they're having people who, I don't know, they just drink soda their whole life, and then they don't really listen to the rules, and then they still live long, but they are the exception. So it's kind of difficult to say. I don't know. But yeah, I just think that's the biggest issue with the law of attraction, is it's very elitist, and it comes off as something, well, I guess it's elitist, but it is accessible. Like, it's not like something that is directly out of reach because of monetary reasons, but it's indirectly out of reach due to monetary situation. And I think I already explained that, because if you grow up wealthier, well, first of all, you're already at an advantage because you think you're wealthy, but you have more free time and more emotional energy to deal with this stuff. Like, somebody who grows up in a horrible family, they might, any free chance they get, just pounce on a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might be any free shot that they have. They might just jump on it because they don't have the energy to even deal with anything at all. It still doesn't make, it's still crazy to think about, though, because I still think a lot of humanity, it's just a severe taking things for granted, because we do have so much better entertainment and ways to feel good nowadays than ever at any point in, I mean, it's technically speaking, besides systematic anxieties, our lives are so much better than they ever have been. I mean, even people who only work 30-something hours a week, like, that's relatively low in the grand scheme of humanity. Now, I know could be better. You could probably argue the standard could be a 30-hour work week, you know, if everybody actually worked. But there, you know, there's a percentage of people who don't work, and I'm talking about at the bottom and then at the tippy top. And as long as one person's not working, that's like a lot more work that somebody else would have to do. And yeah, I think we've already talked about that. I don't really feel like getting into it. But yeah, I mean, life is very good fundamentally. Cars are better and nicer than ever. You can have your opinion about the cheapness of the construction or their longevity maybe being called into question, but in terms of how they drive and how they handle, they're more comfortable, they're higher quality overall. A lot of manufacturing processes have improved. Plastics have gotten better. Obviously, phones, I mean, if you have a newer phone, it feels great. The finish, everything about it. So materially, things are just better. And lifestyle-wise, too, things are a lot better. They're just expensive. Like, obviously, most of the people reaping the rewards of this are very rich people. It's not many poorer people who even get to reap the benefits, which is, you know, obviously a pretty common complaint. But either way, even just living now, that's the only things, well, and they are big deals, but the only things you have to worry about is, like, I don't know, having to go to the doctors, having to go to the hospital, getting into some kind of car collision situation. You see what I'm saying? That's about it. It's a lot of worries and, like, anxieties. Oh, and, like, being able to pay bills and things like that. And I know people are saying, well, you're saying all this stuff so casually. I know. But I'm aware of that, and there are things that I used to be more concerned about, but I don't think it pays to be concerned about these things. It's not good energy, and statistically speaking, most people never have any of those issues anyway. Like, there's probably a lot of people who never go to the hospital and who never really have any problems, and who also never get into any car situations. There's a lot of people like that. So just probability-wise, there's no reason to think so dark about it, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's just, why would you do that? And that's where I think the law of attraction is most compelling. Because it's, yeah, I mean, why would you worry about something bad happening? I know in certain cases it can protect you. Like, you shouldn't do anything explicitly dangerous. I mean, that's, you know, but at the same time, a lot of times things are out of your control. Most things in life are out of your control, and therefore there's not much you can do to anticipate any of it, because it's you can't do anything about it. So that's kind of where I've been at with this stuff. But I still have questions. I have a lot of questions. I should really contact one of these people of the law and see what they have to say, because I don't know. Now, then back to the main premise is a lot of people slip into casual addiction, which is cigarettes, lottery tickets, fast food. And that's like a good chunk of the population that just mindlessly engages in those mediums. That would have been even better if I said it's a good chunk of the masses who mindlessly engage in those mediums. That would have been 3 M's, not just 2. But I couldn't think that far ahead. The masses mindlessly engage with the mediums. And so that's where it's like, well, some people are always going to do that, and there's certain negative energy and intention by creating those institutions of fast food and of gas stations with what they got in there. It's not good energy, it's bad energy. And I just think a certain amount of people will always fall victim to it. As long as it's there, people fall victim to lots of things. And I just think that's just like how it is. I don't know. It's kind of difficult for humans to resist a lot of these things. I think, at least. And that's kind of when it comes into, I don't know how fair it is, because a lot of people just, I don't think they can do it. I don't think they really conceive of it properly, you know? But the more I think about it, the more I kind of see that it could be possible if you had, I mean, if everybody was operating at a higher level, things would get better. So I don't know, because it's that theory about, like, you know, if everybody followed the law of attraction, then the entire consciousness would be lifted, and that's probably the case, you know, because people would stop. No, but see, that's the problem with it, though, because people could do that and then still be supporting a bunch of bad, negative industries. I think that issue is still apparent, because somebody could say, "Oh, I'm so high vibration, I'm going to keep going to McDonald's. Like, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm great." And that's not really interfacing with things properly. So, again, it kind of comes back to my question of, I still feel like it's necessary to discern things objectively, because I don't think it's insignificant. Like, I don't know. I mean, if reality is really that malleable, I guess it doesn't matter, but still. I mean, wouldn't we not engage in those lower level things then? It seems kind of odd to me. I don't know. But I guess the evidence fundamentally makes sense. It's not like doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Because technically, in my version, everybody is uplifted. And they stop going to the gas stations. They stop going to fast food. Start doing the right things and all that stuff. And that would likely follow. But yeah, I mean, we could feel better. But you know, but then there's a part of me that doesn't like it. Because at the same time, I could easily make a counter argument that people feel too good. That's like the whole problem. You have people in power just ruining our lives and creating a system that is not good for most people. And this has been the case, not even talking about any specific politicians. I'm just saying the past couple decades, there's been a clear shift towards a worse system. There's been a clear shift towards a worse system. And people aren't aware. And that's kind of the issue with a lot of the proponents of the law of attraction, is it reduces awareness and therefore reduces potential. Because if you're not seeking things to be corrected, then corrupt people are probably just going to be allowed to get away with things. And I don't think that's a part of what the law states. I don't know. I don't really think it adds up, honestly. Practitioners of the law. So it's tricky because in some ways, but I wonder if that's just misinterpretation and that's not really anything that the law supports. I mean, I don't know, because I would think high vibrational energy would lead you to more positive choices in your, because I don't think it's about not caring, or it shouldn't be that subjective. And like I said, I'm no expert, so I don't really know, but that's just my intuition about it. And even if people say otherwise, that's just my spin on it, is you really have to be careful, because I think in a lot of ways people are too happy. You know, they're too happy. And so these things don't affect them. It doesn't matter to them. They don't care, you know? Because they're too happy. A lot of people joke around, fool around, have fun all day long. But I don't know. I mean, maybe nothing happens to them, but I would think there would be some price to pay. But again, we're probably judged individually, each according to their merit. So not sure how much sense that makes, but yeah. So I'm just, wow, I mean, I guess I'm just kind of losing it. Tired. Well, I also think I'm probably less tired than most people too. That, like, when I say I'm tired, I'm probably still trucking along better than most people would in my situation. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm always trying to compare myself to other people. I really shouldn't do that. I know. But I can't help it. I love people. So yeah, I guess now what this series is going to become is constructing the ultimate archetype. Through speech and explaining the journey of the construction. But it's going to be hard. Let's see, if I can get through the day being mindful, not resorting to any kinds of anger or negativity. Be interesting if I can do that. If I can just get through the day. Because I've been doing good, but I could definitely be doing better. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm not breaking records, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm not breaking records. Oh wait, I shouldn't even be saying that. I will break record. No, not I will. Records are broken. Every day there's a new record. I mean, I'm doing good, It's actually crazy. I should just acknowledge that more, just how good things have been. So much to be grateful for. It's crazy once you really think about it. It's really crazy. But yeah, there's just, and I mean, every day is a good day. I mean, pretty much it's what you make of things, right? It's just, I don't know. It's just crazy how far you can go with those kind of understandings of things. That everything's just kind of your own perspective and stuff, but I don't, well, no, I was going to say I don't know how well people's awareness is of that stuff, but now, I can't stop projecting about other people. Like, there's so much statistics and data that's true, and you can't just sugarcoat everything and everybody. I don't care. I mean, maybe I'm going to change my mind about that because I want to bring us all to a higher level, and me projecting and reinforcing the material inadequacies is not good, but give me a break. I mean, people are not people are not with it. People are just not with it. For some reason, I was going to say it's binge schla, and now it's time to buy schla, but that is not true. It is not time to buy schla. It's just not. So, yeah, I mean, it will be soon, though. Don't get me wrong. Will be soon. It will be time to buy schla soon. I actually think it's interesting how much I can talk for. Because it is true. I mean, a lot of people just, I don't know. I don't think they'd be able to talk as much for as long and stuff like that. Stuff like that. Yep. It's a good time. It is nothing but a good time. Now, yep, we're gonna get into the habit of putting the sun things up. We've been doing good. This was a good week. Now, I didn't even do anything. Wow. Oh, guys. This could have been a record. There was, no traffic. There was, literally nothing. It seems like a record. I'd have to review the footage to verify that claim, though. I'd have to review the footage, but genuinely seems like it. Yep. And a break from talking soon. Because I'm tired of you guys. I'm tired of this job. Nah, I'm joking. I'm not tired of y'all. I ain't tired of this job. I'm good. Yeah. And see, everything was fine, even with the glasses messed up. That's the thing, though. A lot of things. I don't think I got into it right, but it's an emotional maturity thing too. I mean, some people just cannot help themselves and just get really bothered by things. I don't think a lot of people. Yeah, I just don't know. More on that later. It's been schla, but now it's time to buy schla. So, see ya, schla.